Hi, in the previous video, we talked about basically we created a model showcase page, and over there we actually use that ResNet 50 model to classify some image over there, right? Now, in this video, let us talk about how we can create, because if you see it over here, we have created two simple links over here, right, using dcc.link. Now let's work on the UI part of this app, where we will be building a very simple navigation bar for this app so that it looks good. Okay, so this particular video, it will be fully on the Plotly dash, so there is no deep learning concept we'll be discussing in this video, so I'll be keeping this video in the Plotly dash playlist over there. Okay, anyway, I'll be sharing, like, for each and every video what are the prerequisite. I'll be sharing in the video description as well, so that you can follow it accordingly. Okay, so to create a navigation bar, we are basically going to use the out of the box Plotly Bootstrap component. Okay, so if I just go to Plotly dash documentation under open source component libraries, so there is a thing called dash bootstrap component. So here basically you can use Bootstrap to create a lot of stuff like the buttons, navigation bar, lot of stuff fully using Bootstrap. Okay, so and it also comes with a very predefined themes as well, which you can use it, so that you have to code very less amount of CSS over there. Even in particular today's video, we will not write a single line of CSS, but at least we will be able to create a very simple navigation bar today. So the first thing you need to do when you want to use the dash bootstrap component is you need to install this guy over here, pip install dash bootstrap component. So I have already done that, so I am not doing it now, but if you have not done that one, you should be doing it there. And the same thing is available in the requirement.txt file, so I will be adding it over there as well, so in future, if you are referring this particular video, you can just use this particular file to install everything over there. Okay, so let's move on. So to create a navigation bar, so let us go back to the documentation. Okay, so if I just click on this get started over here, so if you see, like, this documentation is divided into three parts, like the themes. If you see, Bootstrap component comes with lots of predefined theme. You can use it. Even you can use your own style sheet as well, which we will be discussing in later videos, but we will start with the very simple stuff today. And there are icons. If you want to use icons in your dash pages, so you can use this one, but for now today we will be using the component part. And in the component, the main thing is the nav and nav bar. So these two things we are going to use to create a navigation bar. Now if I just go to the nav bar, so there are two ways you can create navigation bar in dash, by using the navbar simple and using the navbar over here. So if you are using navbar simple, so the creation wise, the code wise, it's a very simple stuff, but you will be losing like customization option lot of. Okay, but if you are using navbar, so there are a lot of customization options are available over here, but you need to code it more over there. Okay, so for today's video, let us first try to get an idea about navbar simple. Then in later videos, we will try to modify it by using the navbar as well. Okay, so now when you want to use navbar simple, you will see they have given an example over here, right? So this is how the navbar will be looking like. So you will have a string, probably it will be like the text logo kind of stuff, right? So we will have our own text over here as well, and you can create like clickable links over here, even drop down as well. Okay, so the main component we are going to use it navbar simple. Now inside the navbar simple, as I told, you can use two things. Either you can use a nav link, if you see it, okay, even you can create clickable link over here for different pages, or it can be a drop down as well. Now this drop down is not dash core component drop down, so this will be this drop down item, this drop down menu from the dash bootstrap component over here. Okay, which is creation wise very simple. If we see an example over here, like it is also having a children, and inside that you can just use this drop down menu item to create different items over here. Okay, even you can use href as well, so that it will become a link over here as well, just like our dcc.link works over there. Now apart from that, there are certain other properties as well, like the brand href. We will discuss that when we will be creating going forward over there. So let us do that one. So for that, what I'll do is we will create another Python file. We will keep our code related to the navigation in a separate Python file so that we can import it easily, and in future if you are changing it, we will be changing it in a single place. Okay, so we will right click over here in the apps folder. We will create a new file called navigation.py file. You can give any name, meaningful name. This should be fine over here. So inside the navigation, first thing you need to do is you need to import that dash bootstrap component over here, right? So let us do that. We can just copy same line over here, that's dash bootstrap component. So that is done. Now we can just copy this code over here and try to understand what's going on over here. I can just copy it and paste it over here. So we are using navbar simple now. Okay, so that's why we have used dbc.navbar simple. Now inside the children, so using this nav item and the nav link, I will be creating separate. So nav item is basically make sure like these guys will be present in the nav bar. Okay, and the nav link will make sure these are a clickable link over here. Now in our app, if we just go over here, in our app we have two links over here, like one for home page, another for model showcase page. So let us update that. So the first nav link we will be creating is our home, and what will be the href? So if we just go to our index.py page, over there we have defined it over here, right? In the callback, if you see it, like we are checking basically if the path name is showcase, then it should show the showcase page layout, or it should show the home page layout. So if I just give the simple slash over here, okay, it should be my home page URL over here. Now this URL can be a relative path, just like we are giving it over here slash showcase or something, or it could be a full path as well, like you can give www.google.com as well over here. Okay, now the second link we are going to create is for our model showcase page, correct? So let us do that. So the page name will be, if I just go over here, so let's give the page name first. I'll just give model showcase, and the link will be slash showcase over here, just like we are accessing it in our index.py over here, right? So that's the one, and we will have a drop down. So the drop down currently we will be creating, but anyway in future when we are adding, we'll be adding more page. Let's say if we want to add some data showcase page, let's say if we want to explore some data sets, and there could be multiple data sets, right? So if for each and every data set we can create separate pages over there. So in that case I can use the drop down to go to different data set pages. But for now, let us keep it like this, like just create a drop down as a placeholder, and we'll just create one entry over there for our model showcase page only for now. Okay, in future we will try to modify this drop down over here as well. So if you see for the drop down menu, so if I just go back to the documentation again, for the drop down menu, it's a very simple structure here. So you will be using the dash bootstrap component drop down menu, and inside that you will be creating like using this drop down menu item, you will be doing a lot of stuff. And if you see it, like there are a lot of ways you can create drop down menus over here. So you can refer the code, but for today's, as we are creating a navigation bar, we need to talk about certain properties of this drop down over here. And one of the important properties is navbar. If you see it, like set this to true if the drop down menu is inside a navbar, and nav, right? So set this to true if the drop down menu is inside a nav for styling consistency purpose over there, right? So that's why if you see it, these two things have been set it as true over here. And this thing, like this more pages and label, if I just go over here, and this one over here, the mode will be basically the name of the drop down over here. If you see it, the label of the drop down, and if you just click on more, so there is a string over here, right? Like it is not clickable, but it shows like there are more pages over here, right? So kind of like read only drop down menu item over here. So basically the header, so that's the header equals to true is basically create that kind of item over here. Okay, so I can keep more pages over here, but I just wanted to create a model showcase page over here, right? So let us do that one. So this is fine for me, this label is fine for me. Maybe, yeah, I'll just keep it for now like this only. I will delete this guy here. Okay, and drop down menu item, I will just create a model showcase page. In future we will change it, and the href will be same href whatever we have used it over there. Okay, so that should be my navigation.py items over there. So this is creating the simple, this basically creating the children of the navigation bar I wanted to create. Now if you see, there are certain kind of stuff you need to remember. One is the brand href, color, and this dark equals to true is very much self-explanatory over here, but these two are important for the navbar simple. So if I just again go back to the documentation and go to the end of this navbar documentation, so there is a different properties of the navbar simple over here, right? So the brand means it's basically the text of the brand over here. So let us give a meaningful text over here. Let's say Plotly deep learning app. I'll just give this name over there, and in the href, so if I just click on this brand over here, it should take me to the home page. So that's why I'll just give the href as / over here. Okay, so if you see it, like using this documentation itself, creating a simple navigation bar is nothing over here. So once we have done that one, now I need to include this navigation bar each and every page, right? So how we'll be doing it? If I just go to index.py, so these are my pages, right? Showcase, currently I have showcase and home page. Let us open these two things here, home and the showcase.py over here. So in the home.py, the first item we will be giving it is our navigation bar. So what I will be doing it, I will be first importing it from apps. This is my apps folder, import navigation, this Python file over here. Okay, now here in the home page, what I'll be doing it is in my children, the first item I will be adding is as navigation dot nav bar over here, nav bar, because this is the one I have defined it, this variable I have defined it over here, right? So if I give a comma over here, so now my home page should include the navigation bar. Okay, let us try to see it. If you see it, like it is showing up, it is coming up, but it is like not properly formatted over here, right? So we will see that how to fix that one, but at least something is showing up over here. I also do not want to include this links over here now, because I can always go back over there. So what I'll do is, from my home page, I'll just remove these two links, home and this showcase page over here. So for now, what I'll do is I'll just comment these 3 lines over here. Okay. So if I just go back, at least this is showing up. Now, why it is showing up like this one? I said like we are not going to write any kind of CSS over here today, right? Because whatever component, like if you see it over here, the dash bootstrap component defined it over here, like the buttons, different components over here, like the progress bar or different like alerts or something, they do not come up with predefined CSS over here, because it's up to you whether you can apply your own CSS or you can use any theme over here. Okay, so if you go to this themes page, and in the themes page, if you go down, there is a link for available themes over here, right? This boot, if you just open this Bootstrap theme, so this page is actually developed because of, if you just click on this theme drop down, you can choose different themes like the cerulean. So the page will be basically changed according to the theme over here. Okay, so you can use these themes out of the box itself. Okay, so how to use it? If I just go to this page, this themes page, okay, and if you see, whenever you are defining your dash app, so you can basically pass this external style sheet. So if over here, if you see it, like this external style sheet is a list over here, right? So you can pass multiple style sheets over here. Even you can pass your own style sheet over here as well, which we'll see in the later videos. But for now, for today, what I'll do is in my, so this app we have defined in our app.py, correct? So here only we have defined it. So let us remove the other unnecessary codes. So we have created this app from our polls app, right? So that's why these codes are here. So we can safely remove these things now. Okay, so here we have defined our app. So after this name, we can just pass this external style sheet over here. If I just copy this guy and go over here, comma, Control V. So now it requires dash bootstrap component. So let us add that over here. So copy here. Okay, now let's use a very good theme. Let's see what theme we can use. United. Yeah, you can use this one here. So how to use this one? If I just go over here and remove this bootstrap and put a dot over here, you can just type it. It should come over here if you have proper good ID over here. Okay, so if I do this one and save this one, now once this page refreshes, right, so it should basically give me a good navigation bar over here. Let me refresh that one, and if you see it, now our navigation bar looks good somehow. But still, if you see, there are a lot of spaces over here and here, so you can fix these things. So let us try to work on this. So let us go back to our navigation.py. Now if you go to the documentation for the nav bar, so these are the argument, right? So there is a one argument called fluid. So this content of the nav bar are wrapped in a container. So if you make the fluid equals to true, so what will happen? The contents of the nav bar will fill the available horizontal space. So if I just make fluid equals to true over here, fluid equals to true here, let us see what its effects are. So if I just go over here and see it, like now this guy went this side and this guy like our home page, our model showcase page. Now we still not applied this navigation, but in our showcase page, that's why it is coming up like this one. We'll fix this one and our drop down page, but the drop down page is going right side over here, right? We are not able to see it properly. So we can move this guy somewhere over here as well. So there is another property. If I just go over here, it's called links left. If I just make it as true, so if I just make it as link left equals to true over here. Okay, so this should make this links come up over here, somewhere over here. Okay, this also you can do it. Now we can see it properly. Even you can use your own CSS as well, but I'm just trying to create something which we do not need to write any kind of CSS over here. Okay, in future we will try to see how we can do it using CSS as well. We will have more control. We can use, basically we can create more appealing navbar as well, but somehow this is also fine for simple use cases, right? So now let me show you. There is another argument called sticky. So it's basically stick the navbar to the top or the bottom, because the value we can provide is like top bottom, so that it will remain over there. Okay, so if you are scrolling down, so it will, the navigation bar, you can still see it over here. So we will keep it. For this is a good feature as well. Sticky equals to, and we have created our navigation bar at the top, so I'll just keep top over here. Okay, top over here. Even there is another input over here, if you see it, fixed, where you can give the top or bottom, so you can move that navigation bar at the bottom of the page as well over there. Okay, using this guy over here. So yeah, for now I think whatever we have it over here, it looks good. Let us try to apply it in our model showcase page as well. So we will do the simple stuff, whatever we have done it in our home.py. So we will just import it here, correct? And instead of this home page, instead of this keeping this home page layout, so we can just include our navigation.navbar, whatever we have it over here, right? So we will copy it, we will keep it over here. So that should include the navigation bar in our showcase.py page as well. I will just remove this line as well, so that we already have some items in our showcase page, right? So this is not required now. I will remove this guy. So if I just go to the showcase page now, model showcase page, so now our navigation bar is still there, and it is still there over here. Like if you just select, just like we did it in our last video, right? If you select something, it should show the path of the data file, and then it should classify it. Even if you want, you can remove this one as well, so that it looks good. So you can do it from here, like we can just remove this image name. I'll just comment it for now from there. So it should remove that image path from the page as well. Like if I just select it now, it should not show that path over there. It looks good now. Okay, and also, like if you just want to reduce this font size, so you can move it to H3 over here as well. Like instead of H2, I can just move it to H3 as well for this page as well as my home page as well, like just to create, like just to maintain the consistency over here. So I can do that one. So if I just go like now, at least in our home also, it should look fine over here. Okay, so if you see it, like without writing any CSS, we just able to create a decent looking navigation bar just using the dash bootstrap component and its themes over here. Okay, so we will dig down more on this one, like how to use this nav now. Like we just talked about navbar simple, we will talk about the navbar as well, where we can add a logo, we can create a search box, this type of things you can do it. Like you will have full control on whatever you want to display in your navigation bar. So that we will be doing it as well in the future as well. But for now, we just created a very simple navbar using the dash bootstrap component. Okay, so hopefully this video was helpful. See you in the next video.